Let's see. Maybe there is some issue with the video intro. Let's see. Looks like I don't have the video intro, but I have the music. I don't know why, because every day works the video intro, but today is different because looks like the StreamYard changed the rules. So let's do it, the music intro right now. San Diego Comic Con is around the corner, you know. And if you think about San Diego Comic Con exclusive, you think about Super7. Something huge is coming about Thundercats, so a big hype. But let's talk about Godzilla, G.I. Joe, and more. Because today is the episode 10 with my friend Brian Flynn. And remember, this show was born 4 years ago with Brian Flynn. So please welcome Brian. Welcome back to my show. Welcome back, Brian, to my show.
Welcome back, Mr. Allen, always with the amazing songs.
Yeah, and every time, this is episode number 10, that means that you got 10 songs over the road, during the road of this show.
We'll have to make a record. We'll make a compilation record of all 10 songs.
We are close. I think we need maybe just with 10 songs you can do an album. Actually, so we can have. We need to rewatch the old episodes. Let's see how was the song back in the day. But speaking of news, I told that during in the intro. Let's share something about that is coming from Super7. And this is the first one. I know this one is just a tease, but I saw recently.
We go straight here?
You see that?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, and let me know when with this upcoming gigantic news from Thundercats will be announced.
It won't be announced till the 14th, so on Monday.
On Monday.
So today is Saturday, so I can't tell you now.
I know.
Because we're live. If we were recording, I could tell you, and then it could come out on Monday, and it would look all exciting. But now all these people, they're online, they're listening, they're in the chats, and I can't say anything other than take a look. What does it look like?
And speaking of the chat, Lupo says, good to see you, Mr. Allen and Brian. As always, please, Cartoon Bravester Ultimates. He stole my typical
I would
question.
like to do them. Yes, ongoing question.
That, brave star. Well, you know that is my typical question. What is coming? We can dream about. Is possible in the future?
Not right now. I would love to do it. We still have not been able to get the license.
But do you know that when will be possible? You know, what is your man to do the official reveal? Maybe it will be a recorded episode for that.
Whenever it happens, Mr. Allen, you will be the first.
That's exactly. You know that.
Yes.
So on Monday will be revealed this huge Thundercats news, and I believe that whatever it is will be displayed on San Diego Comic Con.
No,
I
don't think so. No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. No, not at San Diego Comic-Con, but the news will be Monday, but we will not be displaying it at Comic-Con.
Maybe you will display it at New York Comic-Con?
No, we're not going to be set up at New York. We haven't set up at New York for the last few years. So not right now. I'll do a video, I'll do some other stuff, I'm sure, but yeah. So far, these questions aren't helping me much.
So far, no good.
So far, All right, batting 0 for 0. What do you think it is, Mr. Allen?
I think it's possible. Probably it looks like a console, video console, something like that. About maybe something that we already have, but something that can upgrade one part of or the huge play set that you did.
Sort of, maybe not. Nah, not
I
really.
don't know. I think that it's possible something upgrade. They can upgrade the big play set that you did before, the huge. I'm not
Colin,
close.
not close enough.
Not close enough. So I will be surprised, even more surprised at this point. So let's see the next one. Let's start to talk something about we can talk.
Okay, let's talk about something we can talk about.
Exactly. So let's talk about G.I. Joe, probably my favorite brand that you have in your Ultimates line.
G.I. Joe.
A real American. Recently on this episode, on this show, I did the third episode with the Hasbro G.I. Joe team.
Yeah.
On last April was
Lenny
fun.
and Emily and everybody.
And Tony, also Tony. Tony for the first time ever on my show.
Oh, okay. Great
Emily
people.
and Lenny, they were before him in 2 times, already 2 times. Yep. But let's talk about this new version of Flynn. Actually is a new wave with Destro and this Tiger Force Flint. Tell me something when this figure, the pre-order is still up and when can be...
It's not a pre-order, it's live. You can order it now, in stock.
In stock? In stock, okay.
Yeah, so this was basically a Joe Fest exclusive.
Yeah.
But if everybody's aware, over the last 6 months, shipping, tariffs, everything has became very sticky. So what happened was we ended up pausing production for a while till things got sorted out to a more reasonable level. So the figures actually didn't show up in the warehouse till a week after Joe Fest, so I couldn't take them to Joe Fest and sell them. So we just made them live on the website. But they're actually in stock and available. And we did Tiger Force, Flint, and we did Python Patrol, Destro.
Yeah.
And those were exclusives for Joe Fest.
Yeah, well, they were revealed at Joe Fest. That's right.
And they would have been an exclusive sort of launch at Joe Fest as well.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Had they showed up on time, had we not had to pause some of the production earlier in the year.
Now, speaking of G.I. Joe Ultimates, we can expect more in the line in the future?
I'm hoping so. It sort of all depends on how people buy into the line. I think what we see a lot with the Ultimates line for G.I. Joe is people that also collect classified. It's roughly the same scale, different reference, obviously, different price points, and it's difficult for a lot of people to collect both lines. And in as much, I think most everybody was like, I can only afford classified. So Ultimates has been a much slower go of things here lately. So unfortunately, but doesn't mean that we don't want to make them. We've got a whole bunch of other characters that are sculpted, but we're not at a place where we can feel like we sell enough of a lot of them. But people keep asking about it. So it's like, all right, let's try a couple new ones, see how it does. If those get better response, that gives us more optimism that we can do the numbers that we need to do on the next ones. So we'll see how this goes.
Finger crossed, because I love this line because it's cartoon accurate. No, I love also G.I. Joe Classified, but I think as a G.I. Joe fan, you need both, because
I wouldn't disagree with that, but that doesn't mean everybody can afford both.
Yeah, I know that, but maybe you can skip other line, because I think the people that collect G.I. Joe doesn't collect only G.I. Joe. No, maybe skip other line and support Super7 G.I. Joe Ultimates cartoon accurate, because I think that we never had before cartoon accurate figure for G.I. Joe before Super 7. No one does that before, and did that before. So I'm very happy for that. I remember we did, I believe, the episode of the basically of the launch of the first wave on this channel back a few years ago. I was super excited for that because they are absolutely cartoon accurate, and I like so much. I did also stop motion. I don't know if I can share the stop motion. I did a stop motion with some of them.
Yeah, I've seen some of it. That you did. You showed me last time.
I believe, yeah. So you see also because today I see something different in StreamYard. I can share also my videos. I don't know why, but I I have the piano, no problem. But back on track. Maybe you don't. We don't know what happened for Ultimates when we got more figures, but we know that you did a lot of reaction G.I. Joe figures, including this version of the Cobra Commander.
Yeah, this is the new Reaction Plus. So this is the O-ring articulation, but the Reaction Plus for Cobra Commander Once a Man. I think this is one of those figures that everybody's been waiting forever for, for lack of a better description. But yeah, super positive. And then you've even got the Spore right there.
Yeah, super cool. And how many reaction so far were released, G.I. Joe reaction figures? How many?
Reaction or Reaction Plus?
Both. We can put together both offline.
I think with Reaction, if you count some of the paint variants, it's like 80 or 90. Wow. And Reaction Plus now I think is at 18.
Cool. This Reaction Plus with this O-ring articulation are super popular. I saw that when I do the news, when I cover the news for a new figure, the people are super excited because it's an interesting feeling because you got the articulation and is a two-way to go in touch with your childhood because we watch the cartoon and we play with the old figures, in the same time.
Yeah.
So you have the two good feelings in the same time. So I think is the reason why they work really well.
Yeah, it's a toy dessert.
Exactly. And let's talk about another G.I. Joe reaction figure, reaction O-ring style.
Yes. The Python Patrol Cobra Commander. So this one is actually in the United States, it's exclusive to Target, but outside the United States, any of your regional distributors or shops can order this. So if you have somebody like, same thing, bug your Italian distributor or retail shop, they can order this. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's most every season that we do a big launch, Target will have an exclusive figure. So this is the one they have this time.
Great. So let's see. And I watch also in my device that everything works for the good connection, a good show at the same time. But so I put my eyes in different way. But let's talk about another interesting version of a popular character. I'm talking about another O-ring style reaction. I'm talking about this version of Zartan. Tell me something.
Yeah, Zartan, Cold Slither. People, it's very popular. People really, that was another one that people have been waiting forever for, and people are really excited about it. So that did really well. I think that one sold out. I don't think it exists. I think we are sold out completely on that one.
So there's no way now to have this figure because it's sold out.
There's no way to have that version of the figure, but there might be something secret coming at San Diego around Cold Slither, which would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. So guys, don't forget to go the Super7 booth. What is the number of Super7 booth at San Diego Com? You know that?
It's where the Super7 booth always is. I don't know the number.
However, guys.
Actually, the Cold Slither stuff will be not at the Super7 booth.
Okay.
You'll be able to get Cold Slither stuff you'll be able to get it at the Reigning Phoenix music booth. So if you know, there's going to be a Cold Slither concert.
Cool.
And then there's going to be, and then they made recordings for Cold Slither. And so we've got something planned there. And that was all put together by the folks at Reigning Phoenix. So we're working with them to do something exclusive that you can see at Reigning Phoenix. You'll also be able to see something over at the Hasbro booth. and then there'll be something exclusively having with Big Bad Toy Store as well. So there's
Wow.
some really cool stuff happening with Cold Slither, but I literally don't think it gets revealed for another few days. You're just too early, Mr. Allen.
Too early. We need to schedule another episode.
Yes.
So I was just a little random point of view. I like how every year you do something interesting and special for San Diego Comic. Or remember with the pizza party for the
Yep.
TMT. I like the every back in the day the Orda Claire or back. So you every year you do something special that is unique. The only Super7 does. So I like
We've
that.
got two special things this year.
Great.
So we've got at the booth, we're doing a special activation, pop up, whatever you want to call it, a special thing with Levain cookies and Sesame Street. So you can come to the booth, you get a hot, fresh cookie, and then you get a Cookie Monster plush to go with it. So Cookie Monster and cookies. And then we put that actually in like sort of a Happy Meal style box for you to leave.
Wow.
And then the Cookie Monster has a lanyard on. It looks like the San Diego logo, but it says Cookie Nom Nom, actually.
Awesome.
And so it is a Cookie Monster and a Cookie Company times Super7 three-way collab. So that's super cool. And then the pop-up this year is going to be Kaiju Response Team, and it is all Kaiju Godzilla themed. And so it's going to be absolutely crazy.
Yes, and we talk also about the Godzilla stuff later during the show, in the coverage.
Okay.
So we have also that. So let's move on to the next. Let's move to the next item. So this one, I believe they were revealed at Joe Fest, but let me know if I'm right because I see these images online about these two figures.
Yes, these are the two San Diego exclusives for G.I. Joe. So we have a Cobra Bat with the time bomb. So from the cartoon, Cobra Commander makes all these bats that are wrapped in like these dynamite time bombs. And it has a slightly different sculpt on the chest with the time bomb wrapped around it. And it's from that particular comic book. So you see the backing card looks like the comic book's been blown up and everything. And then we're also doing a DIC color with the white and green Serpentor.
Great. Is the first Serpentor that you did in the reaction line, or you did a Serpentor before?
We did a Serpentor in Reaction Plus already, yes.
Oh, okay.
But now we're back with the DIC version.
Great. You prefer, speaking of G.I. Joe, the DIC version of the typical classic real American hero?
No, I don't prefer one over the other. I like them both for different reasons, but it's cool when there's different colors so we can do different things.
Okay, now we switch gear to something more about music. Let me know about the White Stripes reaction figures.
Yeah, we've been working on these for quite a long time. It takes, as most anybody, if they're sitting through this, they've heard me say before, that takes us over a year to bring this stuff. But that we're working on this with the White Stripes for a while now, and they turned out really, really great. So much so that Jack White ended up doing a little stop motion video for one of the songs with the figures, which was super cool and completely unexpected, which was great. They're just really cool. And then this syncs up with the Get Behind Me Satan album.
Yeah, I see also a lot of details, by the way, also in the figures and the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. I like it. I like it. Oh, also you with Super7 you cover also different world, different fandom. I like it. This is absolute. I like also the package. I have also a picture of the packaging.
Yeah, turned out really cool.
Yes, absolutely. I think I try to think always as an artist have an action figure of you. I think it's a pretty interesting feeling. I think.
Yeah, can you imagine being immortalized in plastic? That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about Devo. My pronunciation probably is wrong. Devo. Okay.
Devo. De-evolution. This is a Bougie Boy. It's one of the many characters within the world of Devo, especially that Mark inhabits, but I don't think we're not supposed to say that. I'm not sure. But Bougie Boy, yeah, and it's done really well. It's really cool. It's off to a great start. And, you know, we're almost through everybody in Devo. So we've got one more band member to go, but look at how cool Bougie Boy looks. If you know Devo, then you're like way into it. If you don't know Devo, you're like, this is just weird. I don't like it. It's creepy.
And this one, you know, I don't have now my intro video, but I met Tim Burton a few years ago. So I'm very happy for this one, for the glows in the dark Mars Attack figure.
Yeah, Mars Attacks is a really cool, fun license. And obviously it's one of those that people keep coming back to us and wanting more. Every time we think, okay, we've made that, everybody has something they can show back up. Like, so when's the next Mars Attacks? When are you doing next with Mars Attacks? What are you doing next with Mars Attacks? And so the colorway on this one is definitely sort of more inspired from the world of like Japanese kaiju and monsters, which is a cool crossover. So with the glow, with the pink and the green, you could easily see like a old school Japanese kaiju sprayed like that. And then the package there, is based on the trading card art from the 50s. So really, really cool.
As usual, I love for every line the package that you did for the Ultimates line. I like because the personalization for each character you did for every line for each character. I like that. No, it's not just a packaging, but it's the characterization with the character himself is really cool. And speaking of Ultimates, before to continue the full coverage of the new stuff, will be more for Transformers Ultimates in the future?
Yes, there'll be some other stuff that we're working on. It's a little ways out, but we're working on some other stuff. So, okay. Yes is your answer.
Yes, because it's my license number 2 that you have. My favorite number 2 Transformers.
So G.I. Joe number 1.
The Transformers number 2.
Where does wrestling fit in?
Wrestling, I like what you did for Andre, the Ultimates Under the Giants figure.
Yes. Really but cool. Wrestling is really number 1, and then G.I. Joe is number 2. We just don't do the wrestling.
Depends of which type of wrestling, because I'm especially a WWF guy, so I like the Golden Era, this type of character. So Andre was perfect. This G.I. Joe is especially the cartoon. I'm more fan the cartoon than the old. As usual, as a collector, when I was a kid, when I watch the cartoon, I pretend to have the same character in the figure, no? Speaking of Mochu, G.I. Joe, or Transformers, back in the day, the figures were not accurate for the cartoon. Was something different. And it was frustrated because at the time I want a cartoon accurate figure just when I was a kid. Also when I was a kid, it was something like that. So you are a guy that realized my dream in different life for that. No?
I try my best.
Yeah. And speaking of Mars Attack, I miss also this one. This one is
Super packs. So if you order it, if you order direct from Super7, you get additional pieces in the super pack. So in this, you get the busted out alien head and broken dome. And I think it's missing the eyeball in here. We've got to get the eyeball in here, but you can take the eyeball out of that one.
Awesome. So it's a plus if you order from Super7.
Exactly. We appreciate it. See, look at that.
Great.
I mean, really, that was from the movie, but still.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see so if I have the. Now it's time to cover a lot of new stuff for Godzilla, the Godzilla station. Tell me something about this promo concept also, because there is a lot of stuff about it.
So the promo concept, the idea is basically Godzilla is attacking San Diego Comic-Con. So the kaiju response team has to be activated to help get you to safety. And getting you to safety, you need to come to Godzilla Station. So like an indoor train station. So that is what we're doing. So the kaiju response team will guide you to Godzilla Station. So if you look on the package here, I'm pointing at the screen, no one can see that, but you can see it says Super7 Kaiju Response Team. Then you have the sort of logo, the triangle logo with Godzilla eating the train and everything. And you see the guy on the side from the Kaiju Response Team with his hand up and everything. So there's a whole thing going on where please come to Godzilla, follow the Super7 Kaiju Response Team to the Godzilla station.
Great. I like this creative wave. Speaking of marketing promotion, the Super7 does. You are the only one that do something special with a storyline inside. I like that.
We're trying to have fun with it, and you know, make a moment. And so yeah, same thing. The background of the package has like the hazard stripes and everything. It's a lot of fun.
And we have more about Godzilla. Let's see if you can see also the figure.
So this is a clear blue fun series -1. Super cute, but in clear blue, just like when he lights up. Then you have the first of the Super Cycles.
I like Super Cycles. You did also awesome Super Cycles with a Universal Monster character as well. I remember the creature of Black Lagoon probably.
Yes. They're so fun. Cute. They're so cute. Look at that. How can you say no?
Yeah, absolutely. And this will be available at Godzilla Station, Super7, San Diego Comic Con.
Yes.
Great. I see also another picture.
Yep. Godzilla 89.
Super cool.
Little baby blue trike. So cute. And then, you know, the wheels, the bell, the mechanism, everything is tin key wind, like from the 50s. So you wind it up and it drives and the bell dings and everything.
Awesome. And we have also this one.
Yeah, so this is a Mechagodzilla 2, and it is colored in that sort of gold sheen, much like the Trendmasters figure was back in the day. So it's an homage to the Trendmasters colorway, but within the Godzilla station on the Fun line.
Yeah. Let's see the next other picture with the packaging. Cool.
Yep.
I like this gold color. Really cool. Pops up really well. This shiny gold.
Look at how cute he is. You just want to take him home and pet him.
Absolutely. And speaking of a Godzilla, tell me something about this.
So this is our Ultimate Series -1 done in clear orange, what you would call the 1200 degree version of these days. So in the traditional Godzilla lore, you know, you have sort of the 89 moving forward, and when you get into Destroya, he starts to, you know, he moves into regular Godzilla, and you sort of see what they typically call the burning Godzilla with the orange crackle coming through. And then you get to what they're now calling 1200 degree Godzilla, where he's all sort of translucent orange before he literally starts to fall apart from radioactivity. But so we took that same aesthetic of that clear orange, very famous Godzilla, and applied it to the -1 Godzilla.
Great.
And look how cool he looks like that.
Yes, the color is super cool. I like it. I like also the sculpt. Awesome. Really cool. And when this one is, when will be available, this Ultimate Godzilla?
It's available at the pop-up at the Godzilla station. So follow the Super7 Kaiju Response Team to Godzilla Station, where you too can pick up a 1200 degree Godzilla -1.
Awesome, awesome. And let's talk about Godzilla, King of the Monster, Godzilla 89 comic book figure.
Yeah, so for people that pay attention to what we do, 2 years ago, we made an ultimate of the Godzilla 89. We called it Thirsty for Blood, the bloody thing. And that comes from the Art Adams comic book run of Godzilla. And that figure has been wildly popular, and it is very expensive to get on the secondary market. In the Super Kaiju line is a smaller, more price-sensitive line that is available exclusively at Target. So we've worked with them to come up with an exclusive version of Godzilla 89 referencing that same Art Adams artwork from the comic book. So it's the Bloody Godzilla now on the $35 side. And we're going to have a limited amount of them available at San Diego Comic-Con, and then there'll be a small amount of them available at Target afterwards. So it's sort of a shared exclusive.
Awesome. Really cool. I like the design. This version is really awesome.
Yeah.
You can see also a
There
picture.
he is.
It's beautiful. I don't have my clip that says this is super cool because I have, but I don't know why today I can use it. So
you can't use it. So we'll do it for you. This is super cool.
That's right. So let's move to the next item. Another Godzilla. Let me know this one.
So this is the -1 glow in the dark. So it's the train biter figure that we did earlier on. That's sold out already, and so we're remaking it in glow in the dark just exclusively for the pop-up event.
Let's see also the comment in the chat. Guys, later on Brian will answer the question, so just in moment continue to keep going to put your question. If you have a question for Brian is ready for you. After the full coverage you can put your question. Let's see. So let's continue the coverage. Oh, there
it is. Look at it in that cool diorama box with the Smash City all around.
Awesome. I like it.
So we're replicating that scene in the movie where he bites the train, rips it off the track and everything.
And actually it's the last picture of my full coverage. I hope they have covered everything. If you want to plug
a bunch of the stuff doesn't get released till next week, so we're right in the middle. So there's all sorts of secret stuff we can't talk about yet, Mr. Allen.
Yeah.
You're too efficient.
Yeah, too efficient. Maybe we do another episode.
Yeah. Another episode. We'll do 10 and a half.
Yeah. The 10.2 episode.
Oh, 10.2. All right.
So let's see the question in the chat before to go random.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's see. Justin Mom put a lot of questions. Let's see the first one. Will Super7 do any original EP besides the Wars? I find Boss Fight Studios doing a lot of original stuff like Sarosi Warriors and the Motu Origin stuff they're doing. So other original IP from Super7?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's been sort of like waiting in the wings for a while. Obviously, the last year and a half, but even the last year and a half has been a bit bumpy. And so the things that get put off to the side are the things that are nice to haves, not need to have. And so every time we keep on trying to bring it back in, it feels like, oh, now we have to deal with tariffs, or now we have to deal with this. So hopefully soon you'll get to see some of it, but there's quite a lot of other cool stuff in there, and there's a bunch of really cool updates with the worst and other things. So it should be really cool soon. There should be some fun stuff.
Will you use the $5.5 to do any fantasy stuff?
I wonder what I would need a definition of what he means by fantasy.
Yeah, me too. So put an explanation for that. Let's see. I read the question and whispering. No, what is the whistling when you
whistling?
Whistling. Do you think that my English is a little bit upgraded recently?
I don't know if it's upgraded or not, but it's always so much better than my Italian that I'm never going to critique it because my Italian is terrible. In fact, it's non-existent.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can be happy for that.
So whatever you're doing is wonderful.
However, I try to, because when I have a guest, I try to translate his name in English, but Brian is Brian. There's not another way to say Brian in Italian.
No.
Because if you
are like Tony or Anthony or any of those
Andrew or Andrew or Michael, you can find a translation.
Yeah,
But
no.
Brian is just Brian. There's not.
That's all. That's all.
But I'm Alan, and Alan is not an Italian name, no? So I don't know if I'm frozen. One of the two is frozen, I believe. Me or you? I see myself talking, but I don't see you. I don't hear you.
Now I see.
I can hear you like a robot a little bit, but in the other device, I see you freeze. And I move in the other device. No, I saw myself in the other device is okay, but not you. Probably. Oh, maybe you are back. I think now. Move
I
your
think I'm
hand.
back.
Yes, you're back. Yeah, you're okay now. The connection sometimes. So, okay, now let's talk about something random. We start to talk about random stuff. The first part, the official serious part is done of the show. So let's talk about something random. First of all, how many San Diego Comic Con you did before? This one, which number is for you? Which how many years you have been on San Diego Comic Con?
Well, 2003 was our first one, so this is 25. So this is our 23rd year.
Wow.
So now, granted, 1 year it got canceled, but we would have gone that year. So I mean, I still kind of count that, but it would be our 23rd year at San Diego Comic Con this year.
Because you live close to San Francisco, am I right?
I live in San Francisco.
San Francisco. And by the way, an unpublished book that they did, another thriller, take place in San Francisco, by the way.
Oh,
so maybe, yeah,
maybe one day we'll get to read your Mr. Allen's Adventures in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's a thriller about. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's an interesting thriller, that one.
Okay.
So let's see. It's the third book of the series of the book that I already published last episode. They will be released in English in January. So let's see what happens if I find a bigger editor. I don't know. However, back on track. One of the stuff that I like from Super7, your Super7 show on YouTube, has been for a while since the last episode of this type of show. I remember you with the puppets and this stuff.
Yes.
What happened with the show?
Where are the puppets? They're coming. They're not here right now, but we have got some big plans for puppets. So
okay.
Same thing with some other things. Like some things get put on hold while we wait for other things.
How started the idea of these puppets for your show?
Well, actually, years ago, what it started with it was years ago for the design studio, actually. So before I was even, for years. So for everybody here, for like 12 years, I only worked at Super7 at night while there were other people that worked here. Like it couldn't support me too. So at the design studio, I did an interview with an online magazine called Design Milk, and they wanted to know, they wanted to do a day in the life of me at the design studio. And I was like, that is not very interesting. But a day in the life of puppet me is very interesting. And so we made the puppet of me originally for that. And then years later, I was like, we should do something with the puppet. Like, that's crazy. And then once we got that puppet going, we're like, well, we need a puppet now of Aaron, and we need a puppet of Josh. And so now we have a puppet of Mummy Boy. We have a puppet of everybody. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
I think you need a song for your puppets.
Hold on. We need something. We need a song. You know a guy that can make a song? Here, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Hold on. Chat with everyone in the studio. I guess I'm only in the private chat, but we can put that elsewhere. If you click on that link, I don't know if you can show it, but that has the original puppet.
So now I so open the link. Ah, yeah, I saw this picture on internet. So now I share that. Just hold down,
Yeah,
and
there's
if
a whole
I
bunch of.
share screen, there we go.
Maybe.
I
Oh,
think
there
we
we go.
can
Yeah.
see now.
Yeah. See, a lot less gray. A
Also, I
younger
like this
version.
picture that you watch your puppets. Really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see if there is other picture. Yes, really cool. This is Brian Flynn back in this picture of you. How many years ago was this picture?
I don't know. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe longer. A long
Super
time ago.
Seven. Super 7 was born 20 years ago, I believe.
Super 7, 2001. So it is
2001.
24 years old.
24 years old. And when your Super 7 you become your full-time job, you become a
Uh,
full-timer with your picture.
2013, 2014, maybe somewhere in
I
there.
think I think that I think that when a job that you love become your full-time job is a turning point in your life, no?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's not like I didn't love the design studio. That was my first goal. I never even considered that becoming a toy maker professionally was an option. It just slowly built up, and then one day I was like, I think I can do this. That's crazy.
And when you did the other job as a designer, what did you did at the time? What the other job?
Yeah, that was my job. I owned a graphic design studio. I still own the graphic design studio. Hybrid Design is our graphic design studio I have with my wife, and we've got a group of about 12 people that work for us there, and
But
we're doing
design for which kind of property
well.
or
We do a lot of different things. We do that. That's the one thing when we originally came out with the name Hybrid 25 years ago. The idea was that we weren't just a 2D studio, we weren't just a 3D studio, we weren't just a retail studio. We were a hybrid of all the things. If you can design well, the medium doesn't matter. Like you 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 know your concept, you know your story, you know your idea, and then you execute it in the best way possible. You don't go into it premeditated with what the solve is. So sometimes it is print, sometimes it is digital, sometimes it is a experience or environment. So we do a little bit of everything, and so do a lot of work for Nike. We do a lot of work for Amazon now. We do the catalogs that come out at Christmas every year for Amazon. We do a lot of work for Sonos. We do a lot of work for Mohawk Paper. We did the TED conferences for years, all sorts of stuff.
many different stuff. And what is your favorite moment of your career? You when you achieve a goal that you like so much, you still remember today?
Um, I don't know if it's a moment or thing. The thing that I'm most proud of is probably the thing that really for me is when we made our first vinyl toys. We made our own creations, not licensed stuff, but our own characters. And that's where, hold on,
Yeah.
painting by my kid there, but Mummy Boy comes from that thing, like where we made something of our own ideas and people fell in love with it the same way we did and bought into it. So it's exciting. That stuff is super fun.
So the
You know,
Mummy Boy was your idea, or an idea with other
no,
friends?
it was mine. So what I wanted was, if you think about 1950s American advertising, everybody has a mascot, right?
Yeah.
The Jolly Green Giant, you have Bob's Big Boy, you have overseas, you have Bibendum for Michelin. Everybody has a mascot. And I was like, what would Super 7's 1950s style mascot be? And we're like, oh, it would be, I came up with this idea, if you think about 50s and 60s America, a lot of the monster stuff is very cute. Big Daddy Roth is gross, but it's still sort of cute. You have the Munsters, you have Adam's Family, you have the Groovy Ghoulies, you have all sorts of stuff where they're kind of cute monsters. So I was playing with the idea of around with cute monsters, and it came up with Mummy Boy, and I was like, this is our mascot. And somewhere along the way, he lost his mind and his arm, but he doesn't care. He's just happy to be here.
Some comments in the chat for you. Just dropping to say thank you for the cat's lair. The thing brings me joy every day.
Thank you very much, Jay. I'm glad. It's a ridiculous thing. It's gigantic. It's amazing. It is definitely pushing the envelope of, did we go too far? Did we make it too big? Did we go too crazy? I think it's right at the edge, but it's an amazing toy.
To me, for example, it's the same for the Snake Mountain. I have in my toy room the Snake Mountain, and
Yes.
every day that it was the Snake Mountain, I'm super happy because it was another dream come true as a collector.
Yes.
Lupo says, by the way, lupo in Italian means wolf. Do you know that?
Oh, okay.
Any
Any
thoughts?
thoughts of toys from the classic Muppet Babies? We talked about it a lot when we had the Disney license, but the Muppets are owned by Disney. So we don't have a Disney license right now, so we cannot make that.
Okay. We talk about your best moment in your career. What is the toughest moment, the worst moment that was difficult to going through to
I think we've had more than a few, you know. I think anytime that plans don't go as we think they are, we run into something and we have to let anyone go. We have to downsize a little bit. We've had to do that a couple times. That's always the worst because the people that we're letting go don't deserve it. They've put in all the work. They're always good. We don't hire people we don't like. And so you're having to tell friends they can't hang out with you anymore. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But that's the part of running a business and being the boss is terrible. Like everybody sees they think it's easy. It's like, this is the worst. If it wasn't, everybody would have their own. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And, when you have to tell people that, when we hire them, you're making the assumption that you're going to help take care of their lives. You're not just hiring a person. Like you're on the hook for rent, mortgage payments. You're on the rent for feeding them. Health, we provide health insurance for everybody. We provide retirement plans for everybody. Like we take care of them the way we want to be taken care of. And to say to somebody that you can no longer do what you said you were going to do is terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the life is not easy. Also, if you're not an owner of a company, you pass through tough moments in your life, no? Also because to achieve also a goal, also as a writer, for example, you have the tough moments. What happened now? I need to reschedule everything. No, also because the life of an artist is always up and down. You can succeed and fail in a couple of years at the same time because there's a lot of unpredictable things in the life. No, in your life, in the life of everybody, but especially if you try to do a job with your heart. No, it's not easy. But if you trust in that, you need to keep going and find a way to reborn in some way. No, like the phoenix, the bird.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully, we don't have to die every single time to be reborn.
I did a song in Italian that was called "The Fly of the Phoenix" because to me it was an example to explain how is an artist, no? Because an artist go through everything with his passion to get inspiration and almost die for that and reburn to do other stuff and go to the fire because the fire represents the passion and the big emotion that you got as an artist, no?
Yes.
So I like these images because it's a self-reference. So So let's see. Oh, because I have many dreams. I was scheduled to be at Toy Fair, but I had some family issue at the time. So let's see next year. One of my dreams is also be in person at San Diego Comic Con, but I hate fly. I need to fly about 18 hours change flying to go there. How many hours take you the trip from San Francisco to San Diego?
For flying,
Yeah, you fly to go
mm,
there, no?
it's like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So it's like from North Italy to South Italy, the same actually.
Maybe. If you were to drive from North Italy to South Italy, how long does that take?
If you drive with a car, oh, more than one day,
Oh, more
absolutely.
than a day. Yeah, I think if you go to San Diego, depending on how you go, it's 10, 11 hour drive.
Yeah,
So uh, it's close, but not as close as you think.
yeah. Do you like fly, or you are a little bit concerned when you go on plane?
Oh, I don't mind flying at all.
Oh, okay, so you
No big
you
deal.
no
You
big problem for
no
you.
big problem.
Yeah, you don't. I don't like when the plane is landing. No, when it goes up. No, in
It
the
bump
beginning. When no, no,
in
when
the
it goes up.
beginning.
Yes, when it goes up. No, in the beginning.
Oh,
The
see,
beginning.
that's my favorite part where it starts going and it's going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and takes
I
off.
ate that. I
That's
ate.
my favorite part. Once the
Oh
wheels leave the ground, I'm
gosh.
like, no, no,
No, no,
absolutely.
I ate that. Absolutely ate. What is the reaction of your friend that are not in this business, in this war about your job? They are interested or says, "What are you doing with toys?" What is?
They think it's neat, but they don't understand it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No different than everybody that comes to see your collection.
Yeah, the same.
Mm.
Because my friend, I don't have my friend actually in Italy are basically popular artists, no writers, musicians. For example, the recent book has a linear note on the cover by a popular singer that is a friend of mine. The next one will be with a popular anchorman because I work on TV also. So my actual friend in Italy are famous. So they have not so much times, no. But the people that I know, maybe my brother or people that are not friends, but I know because they know me. When I talk about my stuff, whatever age they are, because you can see maybe they are too old. No, it's not about all age. They maybe the younger a little bit know what is an action figures, but especially the older ones they doesn't understand what is. You need to explain. An action figure is a statue that can move, no,
Yeah,
based on a popular character. But it's also my girlfriend doesn't understand my. And by the way, is in the other room. The cooking. She's cooking,
yes.
but
Oh, there we go.
yeah, she doesn't understand so much. I try to because she loves play role play game, no, like HeroQuest, Dungeons and Dragons, this stuff. And I try to in my toy room there is a table just to play role play game. No, to she loves how I display everything. I have hundreds of figures, and I'm really organized with my
Yeah.
figures.
Well, that's
And
the
there
thing.
is a,
Whenever anybody comes to the office and they see all of it, it's the same thing. It's like it's so impressive. It's impressive when it's organized. The difference between a hoarder and a collector is presentation.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Like there is a phrase: perception is reality. No?
Yeah, exactly. If it looks neat and it's organized and everything, nice display case, then people are like, "Ooh!" If it's in a bunch of boxes on the floor, they're like, "This is junk."
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I have a shelves just for J. Joe Ultimates, the other one for Motu, the other one for Transformers Ultimates or Transformer Reaction. They have their own shelves. I like everything displayed, and I don't like mashup. As a collector also, I don't like crossover
Hmm.
between two lines. It's not my cup of tea. You know, cup of tea
Yeah,
is a good phrase. My English is upgraded.
so, there you go. even if it's a British phrase.
Yeah. Because I tell you a little fun fact about my English, because I understand really well English. I watch movie in English to upgrade my English. I do also English version of my book, and more I keep going with that, more my English going better. But I don't speak too much in English. Just my review. I speak with myself, and I cut when I do with, when I do wrong words. But when I speak, because I follow the river of my mind, my English is going worse, especially my accent.
I don't know about that, but it's sort of, the same thing would happen when we go to Japan. The people I knew in Japan could read and write English very, very well, but could not speak it because
Yeah.
they never had the opportunity to speak
Yeah.
it. It's, there's like relatives of mine that can speak Greek fluently, but
Wow.
they can't read or write it because they always spoke it at home, but they never had a reason to read or write it.
Greek, I think, is difficult to understand, as a language.
Ah, hmm, no.
You can say something in Greek,
Ven Milao Elinika.
what it means.
I don't speak Greek.
Okay. If you want to say in Italian, you say io non parlo italiano.
Yeah, same thing. I have enough to get myself in trouble and make other people in Greece laugh at me, and then it's okay. So
I think to me, for example, speaking of my English when I speak, I discovered that however the barricades of my accent and whatever, I'm able to be fun in a foreign language. And I think it's a good goal, that one.
yeah, yeah, no, it's great. Like I said, my Italian. If we were trying to do this in Italian, we would only be doing hand signals and
But now,
emoji.
with the AI, there is the option to translate everything. We can say with different voice, and sounds weird because you can see the Italian version of my bad English, no?
Exactly. Well, we'll have to do one of those. I think Google Meet will do that, where you can real time do translations. So
Yeah. But
that would be.
personally, because I like, especially my English is U.S. English, not because I watch movie in English. I watch stuff in U.S. English. I prefer. I don't use this tool, because this tool is, for, in my opinion, for you become less. Especially to me, that I need to learn a better English for my job as a writer as well. I prefer listening English. It's a little bit tough in the UK because the pronunciation is different of the Irish.
It's tough for us
Yeah,
when we like. There's versions of the British accent where we need subtitles.
yeah.
And same thing. Like if there's some, but there's also a couple American accents that people need subtitles for.
Sometimes yes, because when I watch the movie, some actor there's a different accent. Especially I discovered that if you watch fantasy series, whatever it is, they hired actors that maybe are Arab of other whatever ethnic, but they have this. They learn UK English, but with a different accent. So this is tough. When I try
Yeah.
to watch The Witcher in English, the accent is not easy to understand because they speak a UK version, but with maybe Arabic accent. No,
Hmm.
it's not easy. I prefer watch series. Which now we are close to the end of the show. What is your favorite movie of all time, and why?
I mean, it's hard to not say Star Wars is number one, Tron number two. Then I don't know. You get into there's a couple different ones, but I think these days it might be maybe Life Aquatic.
No, I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch Life Aquatic?
No,
Ah, it's beautiful and it's great. It's great. Do you like the Wes Anderson movies?
Wes Anderson didn't tell me other titles. They did.
Royal Tenenbaums.
I don't know. Also because maybe some movie I know only the Italian title, so maybe I'm not super familiar. I know the name of the director.
Oh,
I'm
if,
more
if
for movie speak. I like my favorites since when I was a kid are Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, probably
yeah,
one of my top level. But I watch also many
I
movies.
can hear I can hear the clock going off.
Yes, because there is the church. I live
Is it
in a
3?
4 a.m.
Four
actually.
a.m. I heard the dings. Oh, 4 a.m. No,
It's not
if you're interested in a beautiful art movie, look up the films of Wes Anderson.
Wes
And
Anderson.
Royal Tenenbaums is probably his most famous, but they're all as you get into newer movies, they become so stylized. They're beautiful, not always the best stories, but absolutely beautiful movies.
Okay, I need to. I try to remember because I wanna check it out. Let's see what is that.
Yeah, check it out.
Because I don't know that. I don't. In this moment I watch series, especially on the typical platform Amazon or Netflix. Now I'm watching the Gotham series. I think
Oh, okay.
I
A
like it.
really good a really good series. It takes a little while to get started, but it's really good. Is Silo if you like the science fiction angle.
Silo. I know the name, I never saw that. I'm more
It's so
depend
good.
of the moments. Now I especially for thriller, detective story, this kind of stuff in this moment. But depends of the moment. There is
Did you
moment
ever watch Usual Suspects?
usual suspect with which actor in the
Kevin
movie?
Spacey,
I think yes. Yeah, it's familiar that probably.
the one where Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe one time I watched that. I think it sounds
Oh,
familiar.
it's a classic.
I like the movie. What is the best movie they recent watched? Let's see. I saw some movie based on John Grisham books. The Client was good in my opinion. That one was really
Yeah.
good. And speaking of book, what kind of book do you read?
Uh, Usually, I'm looking for books that are reference in nature, things I can look at for inspiration, especially things that are things, collections of things, quantifications of things, variations of things. So, like, here's everything about, I don't know, matchbooks from the 1940s. And it'll be 300 of them. And we're like, oh, look at all these. So, things that give me visual inspiration, those are the books I chase after.
So no, you are not a novel reader of a novel.
Not that often.
So
I'm
you will
sorry,
not.
Mr. Al.
But read my book when we be released in English.
When it comes out in English, I will read your book.
Yeah, no, I'm more for fiction, only fiction. I love uh, basically the genre that that I write also because I love horror, thriller, and I love magic realism also a little bit. I start to read also because I start writing also young adult book, so urban fantasy or thriller for young adult. I like because the style of this book is more basic, but is more works really well because I like that the story need to go through the reader easy, in my opinion. If you do
Yeah,
a complex language in your book is like a barricades between the reader and the story, And I
right.
prefer the more simple and more effective. Is my goal as a writer.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
So
Very.
we
All right.
was
So what you're saying is in January when you print your, or next June when you print your book in English, then we'll
I
have a whole
believe
show about your book.
I believe the version of this one that I still promoting will be released in English on January with the same publisher, probably available on Amazon, 100%. I don't know which other platform, but
Okay.
when will be released,
January we have a book party.
yeah, we do a book part. We can do a different show just to talk about. You interview me in the time.
There you go. So I'd like to talk to you about what happens on page 84 when the protagonist falls down the stairs. Is this a metaphor?
However, it's an interesting story. Do you want to see the cover of this book? Because it will be the
Sure.
same.
Sure.
The name of the book is Isabel, the name. This is my book.
Ah, there we go.
Isabel. And it's a thriller with some paranormal stuff a little bit. It's about of a 19 years old young model that she has forgot her past, forgot her childhood, everything, and work as a model. She doesn't care about her career, but in the same time, some bad guy, a violent guy with women, were killed. And so start to a detective called Johnny Brown, that is another important character in the story, also in the other books that I already written. Start to understand why only bad men with women die, no? But there is a mysterious connection between this girl Isabel and these murders. Obviously, you need to read the book. Why? So, but it's also it's a thriller, but it's also a book about the important things to everybody. So the connection that you have or you don't have with the child inside of you. Because my theory is that, and with this we wrap the show. But my theory is that if you forgot the child inside of you, you forgot the truth of the life. Because when you were a child, it's like you start to be composed by the life, no? And you are built by the love that you received when you was a kid, and everything start there. So I think that this book is also in some way a page turner book, because there is many things that's going on during the story, but in the same time is a way to think about your relationship with the kid version of you, no?
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, and now let's go to the piano. Another great episode with Brian Flynn, a solid guest on the show.
Number 10.
So guys, don't forget, San Diego Comic-Con is around the corner. Is around the corner. And Super7 has more to reveal in the upcoming weeks. And many things are coming to you. So when you go to San Diego, go immediately to the Super7 booth, and every place that you can find Super7 stuff. And if you have the money, just if you've eaten, buy only Super7 stuff. Super7 and Brian Flynn with awesome San Diego Comic-Con exclusive are ready for you.
There we go. Thank you. Episode number 10 with Mr. Allen.
It's done, and we are ready for episode number 11.
Or 10.1.
10.2 if you want to come back with the news.
There we go.
So we say hello to everybody. Thank you, guys, and thank you, Brian, and see you until next time. Bye-bye, guys.